The whistle hasn't even blown yet, but the war has already begun. Beneath the glittering lights of a World Cup final, behind the polished smiles and diplomatic handshakes, a storm is brewing that will shake the very foundations of international football. What you're about to witness isn't just about a match. It's about decades of injustice, corruption, and favoritism finally coming to light. But before we dive into this explosive story, if you believe in fair play, if you stand against corruption in football, and if you've ever felt your team was robbed by biased refereeing, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the truth that the football establishment doesn't want you to hear. For generations, England has been on the receiving end of some of the most blatant refereeing injustices in World Cup history, and the perpetrator has always been the same: Argentina. From Diego Maradona's infamous Hand of God in 1986, a goal that should never have stood, to countless questionable decisions that followed in major tournaments, English fans have watched their teams suffer, while Argentina seemed to operate under a different set of rules. The pain ran deep, the anger simmered for decades. But divine justice in football, though slow, eventually arrives. And on one unforgettable night at the 2026 World Cup Final, everything changed. Spain didn't just win the trophy. They exposed something far bigger. Behind the scenes, shocking revelations emerged about the conduct of Argentine players, their tactics, and the systematic favoritism they'd enjoyed for years. This wasn't just a football match. It was a reckoning. In the aftermath, one of the most respected sports networks in the world, The Athletic, published a bombshell exclusive interview that sent shockwaves through the football community. FIFA President Gianni Infantino broke his silence and spoke with a directness rarely seen from someone in his position. His words were sharp, unfiltered, and aimed straight at the heart of the controversy. Infantino began by addressing the English fans and the British media directly. "I want to speak honestly and courageously to football supporters around the globe, and especially to the loyal English fans and the British press. You have endured bitter decades of refereeing hypocrisy, blind bias, and cheap favors that consistently benefited the Argentine national team. They were handed unearned trophies and achievements while others worked tirelessly on the pitch. Enough is enough. The line has been crossed too many times," he continued, his tone growing more intense. What we witnessed from the Argentine players during the World Cup final had nothing to do with football or sportsmanship. It was a live exhibition of thuggery, aggression, and street brawling. They revealed their true character after failing technically, physically, and tactically to compete with Spain's clean, modern style of football. The result was their fair and utterly deserved defeat. Infantino made it clear that FIFA would no longer turn a blind eye. "We will not stand by silently while shameful scenes tarnish the reputation of the world's most beloved sport. We will never allow our premier tournaments to become arenas for releasing personal vendettas and psychological frustrations. I am declaring it publicly today through the American and global media. The disciplinary punishments coming will be historic, severe, and massive. Everyone will understand that the era of favoring the Argentine jersey and granting them refereeing privileges is finished forever. No player's name or legacy will shield them any longer." The Athletic's journalist pressed him on a specific incident that had gone viral. During the match, Lionel Messi was caught on camera attempting to deceive the referee in an incident involving Marc Cucurella. Messi clutched his face dramatically, trying to get the Spanish defender sent off for an offense that never actually occurred. The cameras captured everything. Infantino didn't hold back. "Let me be completely frank with you and the millions watching this moment. What Lionel Messi did was childish, shameful, and profoundly shocking, completely unworthy of a player with his stature in football history. It was a blatant, desperate attempt to cheat, deceive, and manipulate the referee. He tried to exploit loopholes in FIFA's regulations to unjustly punish an opponent and force a red card, even though Cucurella did absolutely nothing deserving of such treatment. He went further, drawing historical parallels. This cheap tactic and twisted approach is nothing new to Argentine football culture. It immediately brings to mind illegal, fraudulent moments from the past, like Maradona's Hand of God goal, which remains a permanent stain on World Cup history. Argentina proved in that moment they are willing to discard rules and sportsmanship entirely, using deceit to compensate for their technical shortcomings. Fortunately, modern technology and football's moral compass stood against them this time, refusing to let this pathetic deception succeed. That moment stripped Messi of dignity and respect in front of British and global audiences who reject injustice. But the controversy didn't end with simulation. The match itself was marked by extreme physical aggression from the Argentine side. Throughout the full 120 minutes, Argentine players committed reckless, violent challenges that endangered Spanish opponents. The most shocking came from Enzo Fernandez, whose horror tackle on teenage defender Pau Cubarsí resulted in a direct red card and left viewers horrified. When asked if Argentina deliberately sought to injure Spain's players and ruin the spectacle, Infantino answered without hesitation. Absolutely, and without a shadow of doubt. The technical reports I've reviewed confirm that Argentina entered the final with a clear, premeditated strategy based on intentional fouling, extreme physicality, and deliberate provocation aimed at destabilizing the Spanish players mentally and ruining the beauty of the game. They resorted to this after sensing complete desperation and technical inability to contain the skill and pace of Spain's attacking play. He continued, "The brutal and reckless challenge by Enzo Fernandez against young Pau Cubarsí was a terrifying moment that deserved not just a straight red card, but a lengthy international suspension, because it could have ended the career of a teenage talent at the very beginning of his journey. This violent conduct is their established playbook. When they lose hope in major matches, they resort to intimidating opponents and pressuring referees, assuming their big names and prestigious jerseys will protect them from punishment on the field." Infantino made a direct reference to England's painful history. This is precisely the same old approach that repeatedly harmed England in historic encounters against Argentina, where referees used to overlook their violence and aggression. But I confirm today that FIFA will not permit World Cup stadiums to transform into combat zones. Every single violent tackle documented in this final will face maximum punishment to safeguard talented players and preserve the integrity of the sport. Then came perhaps the most disturbing revelation of all. After the final whistle, as Spain celebrated their hard-earned victory, chaos erupted in the tunnels and mixed zones beneath the stadium. Television cameras and mobile phones captured shocking footage of Argentine players and coaching staff physically attacking Spanish players. Leandro Paredes was filmed grabbing a Spanish player by the throat. Members of Argentina's coaching staff attempted to assault Dani Olmo and others celebrating Spanish stars. Security had to intervene multiple times to prevent full-scale brawls. When confronted with these images, Infantino's response was unequivocal. These scenes horrified millions of families and children watching this global event from their homes. They represent a complete moral collapse. For the guard of honor and the tunnel leading to the dressing rooms to become a battlefield with street fights, choking, and physical assaults by the losing Argentine side against Spanish players who were rightfully celebrating their triumph is completely unacceptable and unforgivable under any circumstances. He went on, "The FIFA Disciplinary Committee is currently conducting a thorough and meticulous review of every video clip captured, alongside reports from security monitors and match delegates. From this platform, I promise English fans and global audiences that historic punishments and lengthy international suspensions await Leandro Paredes, who openly choked his opponent, and the assistant coaches who attempted to assault Dani Olmo and other players. We will never tolerate street thuggery and the inability to accept defeat with grace entering the World Cup. Those who lack the moral character and sportsmanship to accept loss with dignity have no place in FIFA tournaments. We will act with an iron fist to make them an example for anyone contemplating repeating this savagery." Yet another controversy dominated headlines in the days following the final. Spain had scored what appeared to be a perfectly legitimate goal in the 73rd minute, only for the Slovenian referee to blow his whistle a split second before the ball crossed the line. The whistle prevented VAR from reviewing the play, sparking outrage among Spanish and English observers who saw disturbing echoes of past favoritism toward Argentina. When asked about this decision, Infantino didn't mince words. "I will say it loudly and clearly. The furious English fans, the British media, and the Spanish press are absolutely correct in every syllable of their criticism against this catastrophic refereeing decision." This specific incident immediately recalled memories of past refereeing disasters and historical favors that benefited Argentina in previous World Cups at the expense of legendary teams like England and Mexico. He continued, "The Slovenian referee committed a fatal, inexcusable error that cannot be tolerated in a World Cup final. By blowing that premature whistle before the ball even crossed the goal line, he employed a clever trick to evade VAR review, knowing full well the goal was completely clean, legal, and beyond reproach. We at FIFA have initiated a confidential, rigorous internal investigation into this referee's performance. If our investigations and expert panel determine any intentional misconduct or hidden agenda to protect Argentina and keep them competitive, this referee and his entire crew will never officiate another international or continental match under FIFA jurisdiction for the remainder of their careers. We will not permit the integrity of our sport to be compromised to favor a specific team. In a stunning final revelation, the Athletics journalist asked about rumors that Infantino had personally intervened before the final, demanding stricter officiating specifically against Argentina. Infantino confirmed it openly. Yes, what circulated backstage is entirely accurate and public knowledge, and I feel no embarrassment admitting it today. Argentina's semi-final match witnessed a refereeing catastrophe and genuine disaster in every sense. Critical errors were ignored, nearly destroying the tournament's credibility and fair competition to grant Argentina an illegal advantage. He concluded, "Based on that, I immediately summoned and severely reprimanded the officiating crew and the head of FIFA's referees committee, Pierluigi Collina. I issued strict, explicit instructions to select a refereeing team for the final that would be strong, decisive, and exceptionally strict, particularly with Argentine players, to finally end their historical privileges and protect Spain's footballers from their customary violence. Despite the referee's disastrous error with the disallowed goal, the extreme firmness we witnessed in issuing red cards and ejecting the aggressors at match's end was a direct consequence of the intense pressure I applied backstage." So there you have it. The truth laid bare. Argentina's decades of favoritism exposed. FIFA's president openly admitting intervention to level the playing field. And England's long-suffering fans finally vindicated. What do you think? Is Argentina the most favored team in football history? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss explosive revelations like this one.